Alrighty. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Nice to be back on stream. I hope you're doing well. Just came in fresh from work myself. Don't really have an agenda today, but of course, the topic is always writing. And I know last time I had a lot of fun hosting a digital writer's room, so I might get into that today. But let's see. I wanted to talk about notes today. The importance of giving notes, the importance of getting notes, and how to take them, right? Usually, oftentimes, the note isn't the note, you'll hear writers say. Um, but in some cases, they are. They are. And I recently submitted my draft six of my novel to be read, and I got some wonderful notes. After tightening and tightening and tightening the chapters that I did have, I realized that I ended up about 20,000 words short of my goal. And while that is very accomplishable, um, one thing that I realized is that, hey, I don't want to pad this story. I don't want to add a bunch of fluff and slow down the pace and get hung up in scenery or inner thoughts or things that feel like a diary entry, right? What it does tell me, though, is that things are underdeveloped. Certain characters could use more. Uh, uh, my instinct was to say screen time. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, screen time, but also just time on the page as well. Um, and getting so into your story, it's really important to understand what a reader who is reading your novel or short story or even poetry or screenplay for the first time is going to experience. I'm lucky enough to surround myself with really, really smart people who have really insightful notes to give whenever it comes to something like this. And I wanted to kind of uh, go over some of the things that I missed as the writer getting too into the story in case maybe this saves you some headache as well. Um, consistency. Um, consistency throughout character, voice, and the physics of your story. You said in chapter 1 that your man has no left hand, and in chapter 26 he reaches something for something with his left hand. You know? Oh shoot! Look at Child of Chair 4.0. Oh, you've changed your screen name. Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you again. And then I also have Pixel Drift 187. Hi, bro. To you. How are you doing today? For anybody on my YouTube live, just want to let you know over on Twitch and on my vertical live stream, I'm over on Twitch TV at Derek Nicola Writer, and and I'm on YouTube live as well. If you ever want to watch the big screen, see what all the stuff that I'm sharing live, feel free to hop over there. But also happy to have you. Yeah, he is. Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. How was your day today? What's going on your side of the world? Like, what kind of audience am I walking into? Is everybody tired? Is everybody ready to write? Um, like what's the general vibe out there? For me, I'm actually finishing a long shift at work and wanted to just be sure to like hop on and say hi to some people at least once a week, Be right back eating. Okay, so for some people, it's supper, it's dinner. Excellent. Love a good supper, love a good dinner. I hope it's delicious and I hope it is nourishing. Polka Dotters is over on YouTube and says, "Hello, what kind of novel are you writing with no spoilers?" I'm writing a historical fiction novel. It's the story of a rogue scoundrel who is sentenced to death. And in order to escape his own death sentence, he takes on the role of public executioner, only to have to face off against the very man who put him in the role in the first place. So, yeah, I would love to tell you a title, but honestly, I'm still kind of kicking some stuff around. I started off calling it The Executioner, a little too generic, obviously. Ended on a ropesman's tale. Now I'm thinking that's a little too soft. Um, Most recently, the title has become By the Neck, but honestly, still needs work. I always thought titling something would be the easiest part of something, but whenever I didn't start with a title and I started with a story, I proved myself wrong. The title is becoming real frustrating thing. So I'm not even really thinking about it. I'm just trying to tell the best story that I can. And I'm hoping that I have one of those magical moments where the title comes to me and it's perfect and it tells the audience that this is historical fiction, that it's dark but fun and kind of conveys the promise of the premise of the story, and is short and to the point and memorable. It's a lot to ask of a title, to be honest. Polka Dotter 17 says, I'm dog sitting and doing homework. Excellent. Love a good dog. My dog is chewing on a bone right now, to keep from distracting me from diverting my attention away from you guys. RY. Hey, Jason Mayer. Oh, you only get a small summer break. It's spring break for me. Wow. Okay, cool. Maybe. Jason Mayer 9495. Maybe what? Let's see. So guys, if you want to, be sure to like and subscribe. Right now I'm just kind of doing a little intro, a little chat. But eventually we're gonna start writing some stuff together. Struggo Buggo is on Twitch right now. Hello, Struggo. It's been a while since I've seen you. Also, if you want to watch with ads, feel free to hop on over to the YouTube. Um, but guys, what we're gonna do today, I think, is if you're willing to be engaged, if you have some ideas, if you've ever wondered what it's like to participate in a writer's room, I host a digital writer's room. You're gonna switch to YouTube. Perfect, fantastic. Um, where I will put a giant digital whiteboard on my screen. It won't happen on vertical live. That's why I highly suggest clicking the link, hopping on over, where we're gonna take some ideas from the I say the audience, but really from the writers. You guys are going to be my writers room. We'll throw some ideas out there, and we'll see what we're most excited to write. See if we can combine really great ideas into a strong idea, a super strong idea, and try and write something in under 5 pages before we hop off the internet today. Um, oh, Strogo is here. Excellent. Nice, Ukebox chillin'. I appreciate it. I have premium there. Excellent. Great purchase. Gotta say. Especially if you're spending a lot of time online. Well, I appreciate you hopping on over. Um, Polka Dotter says, I'll try and stay quieter than I was last week. Don't stay quiet. I love hearing from people. That's actually the point, is to get vocal, to get your ideas out there, to treat um, this digital writer's room almost like a safe space, you know. No bad ideas, but there will be ideas that we don't use. And obviously, I think we'll have some trolls like we do every so often, trying to throw a wrench into the works. However, usually those wrenches can lead to some pretty fun ideas. Find ideas in the mistakes, find ideas in taking like a bad intention and turning it into something viable, something good, something usable. It's one of the reasons that I like writing so much. And then let's see. And then over on Vertical, how are you guys doing? Thanks so much for joining. If you haven't, be sure to like and subscribe and follow me. Um, Never hurts. Helps me. Always appreciate it. And you'll also be able to watch these back. Also, if you're ever interested, I have much longer videos on a bunch of different topics, even shorter ones. If you're ever interested in writing, screenwriting, just the principles of writing or dramatic structure, this is a cool place to come. Also, got a Discord if you ever want to share work. Sometimes we will read the works of others. Some people are in school for screenwriting. Some people just want to share their fan fiction, and sometimes ask me like, what do you think about my first chapter? And we can discuss it together. I'll read and we can discuss. Polka Dotter 17 says you got to find the positive in anything, even the bad. I will say it is a really fun exercise to try and find something good about something inherently bad. It's actually very easy to be negative and dismissive. I find it takes a little bit more brain power to search around for what is good about something and understand the goodness of something. Um, to condemn something or to call something bad in an instant, you can always kind of naysay something out of hand and be nihilistic uh, about it. Um, but I feel like oftentimes, like trying to actively hate something or be dismissive of something is like almost like a defense mechanism. You don't want somebody to uh, judge you for something that you like. It's actually easier to be accepted if you are, I don't want to say spiteful or hateful, but, oh, what's the word that I'm looking for? Contrarian is what I'm looking for. Fandalicia, welcome back. It's awesome to see you here. Sorry, my YouTube stopped working. Well, that is a no bueno. Um, Seems to be working fine on my side. Maybe it's just your internet issue. I hope it's not a big global thing like it was a few weeks ago. And okay, cool. Well, so with all that said, Child of Chair 4.0 back on the YouTube. Okay, perfect. Hi, good to see you there. Let me go ahead and maybe pull up our big blank white canvas. Is that something that interests people? Do you have some ideas in your phone? Now's a good time if you keep a bunch of random thoughts in your notes app, or maybe you have like a little journal by the bed and you scribble down little bits of, I don't know, stand up or a line that you thought might be cool to say, or in your feels and you had a little bit of a poetry moment. I don't know. Something where you realize that I have a little bit of something, but I don't know how to turn it into a bigger something. The writer's room is a really great place to do that. Let's see. Fandalicia says, I was skipping and skipping video shorts, and then I remembered your channel. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. That means a lot to me. I can't believe, you know, you remembered me. You like me. You really like me. Thank you so much. Child of Chair says, I have a cat named Taco. That is a beautiful name for a cat. Also, any animal, must say. So shout out to Taco. I hope you're playing with some wonderful shiny car keys. I hope you're pawing a lovely ball of yarn around the living room. Shout out to Taco. Okay, so let's do this. Let's everybody dig around in their notes app. I am going to go ahead and pull up everything that I need on my end. Did I come prepared? No, I didn't. So it's gonna be one of those quick talk amongst yourselves while I catch up. Apologies. I'm coming in hot. We'll call this, oops, pardon me. We'll call this writer's room. And what's the date of today? It is March 31st, 2026. Sorry. Sorry for everybody. I hope I'm not making you sick. Knocking my phone around. Let's go ahead and in Freeform. Freeform is this wonderful free software that came with my Mac. It's basically like an infinite whiteboard, and it's so cool. And I can't imagine anything a writer might love more than an infinite whiteboard. Let me go ahead and expand it just a little. Okay. Boom! Let me move it up, honestly. Just a little bit. Okay. There we go. Get rid of that top space. We're going to need all the space that we can get. What I'd like to do here is open up my text here. And that's what this is where we start. This is where we start. We start with the great white blank page. So everybody, give yourself a hand for starting, for sticking around, for being here. Fandalicia says, I'm eating pizza. Incredible. Love a good pizza. Traveler 2036. You okay? Never been better. Thank you so much. Let's see. How about this? Sometimes when we have all the creative freedom in the world, AF Sadiz says he likes beans. And you know what? Let's turn that into something. Man addicted to beans. We're going to left justify some stuff here just to make it a nice, cool little list. Let's do a numbered list. We have man addicted to beans. I can very easily see that being turned into a flatulent sketch of some sort. It would be interesting to see the drama of a man addicted to beans, him throwing his life away over Pinto, Navy, White, Garbanzo. Never know. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. We can draw inspiration from anywhere. Sometimes, if Taco Cat is a great name, he absolutely despises tacos. Are you trying to feed your cat tacos? All right. How about overzealous? Whoops. I've got to stop doing that. Overzealous pet owner tries to host a fancy human dinner for their indifferent cat named Taco. That's an idea, right? I have no home, just beans. Well, maybe you can build a home out of those beans, okay? Let's see. Feeling unique in a world where everything is the same. Sounds derived, but it sounded like a great pitch. I agree. Here's what we're going to do, though. We're going to end up having to add specifics to that. So we always have the instinct as writers to write the feeling, right? We feel something so much that we want to put it down on paper, communicate it to others so that they feel the same way we do, right? Like maybe you do, maybe you don't, but whenever, let's say you go through a bad breakup, that's a really great one, and you just write out all your feelings in a journal or in a letter that you're going to give to that person, or in a letter that you're never going to give to that person, right? You have to write all your feelings out. Well, that is a great step, but there is a difference between journaling and story. And while we can try and convey what a feeling is, we also need the backbone of a story of how we're going to convey it. So it kind of needs a beginning and a middle and an end. So right now we have this feeling of feeling unique in a world where everything is the same. So, this is, you say derivative, but what it is, it's a common theme. And it's not that we're stealing ideas from other people. There are no original ideas once you get down to the core of storytelling. Every writer's been through this. They think their idea is uniquely their own, and really it's not. But it's okay because we all just tell stories in our own voice. Our voice is the filter that makes things feel original. So everything's going to feel a little bit familiar yet the same, like a good pop song should be familiar yet surprising, is what I meant to say. Like a good pop song, it should feel familiar yet surprising. So, what we would do in this case is we would start pitching ideas like, well, what, in what, in what way is everything the same? And once we know how everything is the same, we know that the opposite will be the unique, right? So, and this is called the, I'll just put this up real fast for you. This is something we call, if this is true, then what else is true? So, in a world where uh, there are no cars, well, that means that there are no car washes. Maybe wheels aren't that big of a deal. There's no gas stations. What does a world look like with no gas stations and no wheels, right? And so, in this case, whenever you start brainstorming, in which way is everything the same? Start brainstorming, in what ways can we make something the same? Everyone has brown hair. Everyone wears jeans. Everyone, uh, everyone is a part of the same political party. Everyone uses AI. And then we know that we have somebody who has a different political opinion, someone who decides to have original thought instead of AI generating thoughts for them, right? So let's keep thinking about that and dive deeper into that idea in order to make it even more pitchable, right? Let's give it something to sink our teeth into. What else? Let me check the chat. Suo Nova, what's up? How's it going over there? Stock. Alice, all is as Alice's. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sure. Alyssa's talk. Alyssa's talk. Hi, how's it going? Sorry, it's taking me a while to figure out your name, but yeah, screen handles are not as easy as just reading literarily. So let's keep going. What I like to do is I like to get about 8 ideas because we can very easily put them into polls on Twitch and YouTube where you can go and vote for the idea that you're most excited to transform into something real. And we're at the halfway point. So let's stop, let's dance, and let's celebrate. One more idea, and we'll be halfway through the pitching round. So throw an idea in the chat. Tell me something about what happened to you today, or the last weird dream you had, or try and give yourself the inspiration by creating boundaries within which to thrive. What was your most embarrassing moment in junior high, right? So now you have to think to your junior high years. You have to think to the embarrassing moment. It's probably going to come as like a coming of age story kind of a situation. Think about uh, uh, the last time you were injured playing sports, right? So now you have to narrow your focus to every time you play basketball or volleyball or whatever sport that you're into. Any reason to narrow your focus can create more specificity, which creates really interesting content. Let's see. Let's check the chat. Ooh, Ukebox chillin'. I recently started posting my book and got some positive comments. I love it. Excellent. Yes. Honestly, I'm excited because books are getting a little bit of a resurgence. I know book talk is a thing, and I'm just seeing a lot of I'm seeing a lot more people carry books with them where they go. Physical, literally physical copies of books, and it just kind of warms my heart to know that people are still reading and not brain rotting away right here with us. But I feel like this is different. Here, we're still talking about it. We're still keeping our minds active. We're still talking about imagination and original thought. And we're seeing kind of how the sausage is made, aren't we? But oh yeah. So but we'll take inspiration from anywhere. So Ukebox Chillin', you say that doesn't fit the prompt, but wrong. Almost everything can fit the prompt if we want it to with a little finesse. I would just say right now we could have author reads his book aloud online only to find, right? And then we can finish the sentence. We give ourselves the setup, and it feels like we have a punchline coming naturally, almost like that his story is verbatim, his audience's life experience, easy first idea, uh, that his audience hates it, that his audience loves it so much. It becomes scared for his life, like overzealous fandom, almost instantaneously. Like, what if his words were the perfect combination of words that triggered a response? His books, words trigger a response in humans to, fill in the blank, fight, love, run away, commit murder, leave their jobs. That would be something that we'd pitch around in the writer's room. Be like, ooh, I would really like to see something about that. Let's keep checking the chat, shall we? What's going on over in the YouTube? Let me go ahead and refresh this just in case I'm missing anybody's sweet ideas. Feel free to get vocal, guys. Come on in, chime in. Um, don't be embarrassed if you have an idea. If you don't have an idea, not a big deal. We'll just keep grabbing them. Somebody just tell me about something that happened in their life. Jukebox chillin'. I lost connection. So sorry. I don't know if you're available to, one, like and subscribe. That really helped me out. But two, if you hop on over to YouTube Live, you can click on my name. I have my links there. And you can actually see the whiteboard that we're using. And then I'm trying to factor in your idea, even though you didn't really give me one. I turned it into a potential idea. All right. And just in case anybody is having trouble connecting, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to restart my vertical live stream. Okay. All right. So we're 5 ideas out of 8. 5 ideas out of 8. And if it starts to taper off, then I have an idea of what I would like to do. Because honestly, I think it'd be really fun to riff on, I don't want to call them weaker ideas. I want to call them underdeveloped ideas. So going back to the author reads his book and feeling unique in a world where everything is the same. I think this is really interesting because now you get to pitch on two separate ideas, get specific about them, get the room excited about them, and then hopefully land on something that feels urgent or creates a sense of emotional resonance that you feel, I can write this story. I know exactly where to go. So while that's happening, let's go ahead and do that. Every time. Every time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and push this up. I'm going to keep this up as a little reminder. If this is true, then what else is true? And let's talk about number 3 here. Feeling unique in a world where everything is the same. Well, in what way is everything the same? And then the opposite will be what's unique. So this is the brainstorm. This is the fun part of the writer's room. You know, if you ever thought, oh, it must be so fun to, I don't know, work at SNL or something because I bet they just make each other laugh all day. Well, this is part of that process. There we go. I'll put this here. So let's do a little bullet point here. Why is everything centered? It's driving me nuts. Okay. And it's really just fun just to throw out some stuff, right? So in a world, I'll use my original, non-original idea that we just talked about earlier, where everyone has an AI assistant chip implanted in their brain. Our hero, whoever this will be, gets theirs deactivated, only to find that it makes them more powerful than the world's combined intelligence. Okay? Anybody else? Okay, so Polka Dotter 17. Ooh, Black Mirror vibes. Yeah. If you want to lean Black Mirror, if you're inspired, do it. Hi, bro. Axe 4687 and Sleepy Pringle. Oh my God, some really killer names there. What's going on? How you guys doing? Thanks for stopping by and stopping your scroll. I appreciate it. 2, if you ever want to hop on over to the YouTube or Twitch, I have a big digital whiteboard up, and we're making like a little digital writer's room happen where you can go and comment and volunteer ideas if you want to. We're having a real good time. I sub. Oh, thanks. Cool. Excellent. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Every little sub helps, of course. But right now, what we're doing is we're taking a kind of just a slightly underdeveloped idea by one of our wonderful users, where they want to write something that feels like somebody feeling unique in a world that feels the same. So what we're doing is we're taking that word unique and we're taking that word the same, and we're starting to swap them out with things that are specific. And we're using script math or writing math to understand that in a world where, like I said, if there are no cars, then there are no streets. And what does a world look like without any streets or gas stations if there are no cars to service? Kind of situation, right? That's an easy, dumb example. Um, Pixel Drift 187. Hi again. Hello again. Ronnie Brady, what's up? How you doing? What's going on y'all's side of the world? Thank you so much for stopping in and chatting with me, saying hello. I appreciate you being here. How's it going? Hope you're having a good night or day or morning. I don't really know where you are, but I'm happy to see you. So, the very first Black Mirror vibe that we kind of get, right, was um, in a world where everyone has an AI assistant chip implanted in their brain, our hero gets theirs deactivated, only to find that it makes them more powerful than the world's combined intelligence. Roan Anderson, what a cool name. Ronnie, Santa Cruz, California. Excellent, excellent. I'm a West Coaster too, so cool to see you. Kobe Davis, play Sab. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm happy that you're here. You look like Nikki from In Hypen. In Hypen? I'm unfamiliar with In Hypen. Your YouTube died right as you were. Oh man, what part did you miss, Struggo? In Hypen is a boy band. Thanks. As much as I love K-pop, it's like Roblox steal a brain rot. It's like Roblox steal a brain rot. Starlight 12, what's up? How you doing? Great screen name, by the way. Happy to have you here. Be sure to like and subscribe. But also, if you want to see what we're doing, over on YouTube and Twitch, I have a big digital whiteboard up, and we're creating some like new original content. If you want to participate in the like a writer's room, or even just lurk and see kind of how one shakes out, right? It's been really fun. So we're playing the game. If this is true, then what else is true? Well, in a world where everyone has an AI chip implanted in their brain, if our hero gets theirs deactivated, finds that it makes them more powerful, more free than the world's combined intelligence. That's kind of a cool premise, right? Hey, dropped you a sub. Thank you, Illusion. That is great screen name. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you ever want to participate in the digital writers room, hop on over. I'd love to have you. Let's see. In a world where, let's see. Let's just pick something random. Like in a world where in a world where anyone who gets fired from their job gets hunted. It's hunted down by everyone who is employed. The employed get a bonus for hunting you down. Little dystopian, almost like a little, I don't know, like it kind of makes me think of a lobster meets the Hunger Games or something, right? Ronnie Brady, I subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you're digging the content. You wrote a novella in high school. That's so cool. What was your novella about? Traveler 2036 says city bunker. Okay. I feel, let's see. So in a world where how about this, in a post-apocalyptic world, where the last remaining residents of a city fight for resources in their bunker. Come on, residents. I promise I know how to type. Bunker. And then let's give it like a cool ellipses. Bunker. One survivor decides to take their chances outside. You know, like I said, it's all kind of the same. Anybody who's seen, I don't know, Silo or Paradise, or there's a bunch of bunker sci-fi stuff out there, right? A love story turned tragic is what your novella is about. That's great. That's fantastic. Well, illusion that is. Hey, you're amongst writers and readers, I assume. If you ever want to plug your book, if it's out for, if it's published, let us know the title. Let's go read it. Let's support it. Let's support one another. Let me check the chat. In a world where everyone can't, our protagonist can read minds. Yo, okay, that's good. In a world where ESP doesn't exist, our protagonist can read minds. Awesome. Love it. And see, I want to see who gave me that original Polka Dotters 17. I want to know how you're feeling, because you gave us the original concept of, I want to write a story where we're feeling unique in a world where everything is the same. How do you feel about how we have taken your sentiment and started turning it into like concrete pitch ideas? And it is kind of shaking out to be a little sci-fi-y, a little almost like capsule episodes, shoebox content, where it seems like in this world, this is kind of an alternate reality, right? Where I always like to cite the movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. In a world where wishes come true, one kid wishes his dad can't lie for a whole week or something. I forget. Okay. And I just wanted to see Polka Dotters, how you're feeling. Does this feel good to be a part of the writer's room and see like your seed of an idea start to sprout? Isn't that fun? And you naysayed it, but there's some cool stuff in there. You said sounds derived, but sounds like a great pitch. I don't think it's derivative at all. I think it's just a vehicle for ideas. Let's run it, you said. Okay. Well, cool. So let's see what we can do, right? So how about this? Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and scrap the man addicted to beans. We'll scrap overzealous pet owner, right? Author reads his book aloud online only to find. Okay. So we want to go down a cul-de-sac. We don't want to go down a dead end. So let's go ahead and move this brainstorm to the side and allow ourselves to return and not just get married to one idea, right? Maybe you've heard people say this before, like an idea is, a good idea is a dime a dozen. It's really all in the execution of the thing, right? So we'll put our brainstorm up here for now. And let's do the second brainstorm. And we might find ourselves more attached to the author who has the book where he reads something online and gets a reaction out of it. So this is going to be slightly different because our premise seems to always be the same. Um, in this, we would say, in a world where this, something happens and it equals the consequence. Not so here. Now we have a permanent setup. Let's go ahead and left justify this. And we say, an author reads his book aloud online only to find ... And this is where we're going to start making our list. And imagine that you were in a writer's room, and a lot of like I like to use this a lot just because it's still pretty monoculture. If anybody's ever watched SNL or gotten interested in the process, where you have a week to come up with these sketches, they're short form, and they're funny, they're satirical. So this would almost be like pitching jokes, but instead of being joke specific, we're just going to be idea specific. An author reads book aloud only to find that. And then you just get to raise your hand and yell out the wildest things that you can think of. And maybe they'll suck, maybe they'll rock, maybe if you combine it with something else, it'll turn into something magnificent. But we won't know unless we start throwing creative spaghetti against the wall. I kind of already started that in the brainstorming process above, to find that that his story is verbatim his audience's life experience. Kind of don't like that one because it just sounds like a bad first idea. It just sounds like a first idea. I don't know. And I also think of Stranger Than Fiction. I'm just like, I don't know, maybe. But what do you guys think? Let me see. Let me check the chat. How's everybody doing? Struggle Buggo, you have anything? Hmm. Or maybe I'll let my chat catch up here. I'll continue with some of the stuff that I had pitched earlier, and forgive me, you know, uh, if you feel like I'm hogging the light, but and just feel free to talk. Please get involved. And if you're on YouTube Vertical Live, be sure to head over to my uh, Twitch or YouTube channel. Check out the chat. You could check out the big digital whiteboard that I've put on screen. And also be sure to like and subscribe if you want to. What is it? And his audience hates it. Uh, kind of a grounded, realistic potential response, but it doesn't really spark anything. He becomes instantly famous, which, as well. Uh, his he writes the perfect sequence of words that, when read aloud, trigger a human response to, and this has its own set of potential tags, punches, right? So like A, I'd say quit their jobs. B, run away from home. C, um, tell the truth. D, you know, anybody else have an idea? Uh, you should sing So What by Metallica. I'm going to leave that up to a Metallica. Prof moderator, professional moderator, trust me, you do not want me getting a gravelly voice yelling into a microphone. It will not end well for anybody. Scott Witty 954. I was wondering if you could go back in time and were to ask someone you just met a question from when you were older before. Wait. Okay, let me think about this. If you could go back in time, if you can go back in time and could ask someone you just met back in time in the past a question from when you were older. So, okay. So what you're just saying is your old self travels to the past and you get to ask one person a question. Okay, this sounds like a new premise, to be honest with you. It's a little off course, but I'm happy for the participation. So it's like a new brainstorm. The brainstorm is you could travel back in time and as your current self ask anyone any question. What would it be? And who? Who would it be and what would it be is really the... So I'll leave this up in case anybody wants to, and in case anybody is already thinking about what this could be. I'd love to hear it. I think this is a great exercise brought to you straight from the live. Professional moderator says, I got a good one. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Let me check the chats and see if they're talking as well. Polka Dotter 17 says, be right back. Cool. Shrugabuggo is back. Ah, I see. So people are interested in the brainstorms. Okay, that's cool. I'll follow that path. I'll go ahead and put this off to the side. I'll put some brainstorms up here. But guys, what is the purpose of asking these wonderful, wonderful questions if we're not going to attempt to answer them? Then we're wasting kind of good creative time, don't you think? So let's see. Professional moderator says, if you were lucid dreaming and people in your dream were asking you to stay, would you? This is a little bit like the allegory of the man who dreamed he was a butterfly. For so long, he wondered if he was a butterfly, dreaming that he was a man. So let's go with this. If people in your dreams were asking you to stay asleep, ostensibly, with them, would you? And my question is if you were actually just lucid dreaming, how can you make that choice? I mean, because we don't choose to wake up. We have a tendency to do it naturally, right? So it almost would be like a better story if it was like almost like a comatose patient and it was a come to the light kind of moment. Then you have to choose between like the harsh realities of life or staying in a reality that you know is false but makes you happier. I feel like that's kind of the plot hole there. Or you can fix it with a sci-fi device, to choose to live in your augmented or virtual reality versus staying awake in this dystopian one, for instance, is very Black Mirror. Illusion, that is. I'll keep out for an eye out for your lives. See ya. Thanks so much. I appreciate you being here. It means the world that you even stopped by. So have a great rest of your night, Illusion, that is. I appreciated you being in here. It was a pleasure. Professional moderator says, yeah, but people practice lucid dreaming to be able to control it. Full on dream, walking, Freddy Krueger stuff. But can you stay lucid dreaming forever? I mean, I know we practice lucid dreaming, for instance, being able to realize that you're in a dream and then start making conscious decisions within that dream. However, the physical act of sleeping forever, even maintaining lucidity during it, seems very limited. I don't know that one could physically actually force themselves to lucid dream forever, because it still entails dreaming. It just means being cognizant of said dream. So it almost negates the entire act of sleeping, which is why I kind of go back to the sci-fi fixes of virtual reality or augmented reality, or dare I say something supernatural, where the choice becomes maybe life or death, or magic versus reality, like Hogwarts versus the mud blood world. Mud blood world. That's hard to say. Just realized that. Very hard to say. Yeah. So that's what I would just say is kind of like the big plot hole there. So to me, it's more like, well, and also saying, well, would you? It's kind of yes or no, isn't it? So how can we turn this into a question that seeds more ideas, right? So if you could, so it's maybe the real brainstorm question, story-wise, and I'm not saying this is a bad question. It is a fun question. I would say if you could construct, oh my gosh, the perfect dream world with total lucidity, would you become addicted to slumber? And even that feels a little like Inception. Did you ever hear of Dreamcore? Don't think so. It rings a bell. What is Dreamcore? Oh, the video game on Steam. Somebody has talked to me about this. The 2025 first-person horror video game developed by Argentinian studio Montreal. I don't want to butcher the name. Where players are tasked with exploring non-linear liminal spaces. See what I mean? Like, this is interesting too, which is like, what if you were trapped in the video game Dreamcore, right? An ultimate psychological exploration game. Feels cool. Sounds awesome. But also think of it in terms of story. Does it have a does it have a beginning and a middle and an end? That's wild stuff. Look that up. Yeah, I guess it's a game, but it's basically theories and stuff like that of dream worlds. Exactly. But remember, whenever you write a story, when we write stories, they are about characters and relationships. that's kind of what we gravitate towards. We have to invest ourselves in someone, see ourselves in someone, right? So we almost feel like we've gone on the ride without having put ourselves in danger. For instance, have you ever seen an action movie or I don't know, whenever I was a kid, I'm giving away my age here, but after seeing Top Gun for the first time, I thought, "Ugh, I want to be a fighter pilot." Or you see a spy movie and think, I want to work for the CIA. I could stake out places and spy on people and plant bugs and put on a fake European accent and slip into parties and gather intel, right? That's the fun of not just movies, but stories in general, getting to live vicariously. So, in what way, in this brainstorm of constructing the perfect dream world with total lucidity, could we create an avatar situation for our reader that would be interesting to explore? That's what I'll say. Also, I'm going to go ahead and restart my vertical live stream. I'll be right back. For whoever's here, let me see. On the vertical live stream, just FYI, I'm going to turn this off and on again, just for like a little technical issue, but I'll be right back. So if you haven't, be sure to like and subscribe so you can pick up exactly where we left off. Okay, here we go. And thanks for hanging out on the YouTube live, the Twitch. I appreciate you. Dealing with two mediums at once. It's just as fun for me, I'm sure, as it is for you. Polka dotters. I'm not going to say that out loud because she'll answer and then I'll get really upset. By the way, I mean, it was already released whenever I watched it. I was still too young to go see it in a theater, but loved it. Loved it. Really wanted to be a fighter pilot for a hot minute there. Thanks, Tom Cruise. Um, okay, so let's continue, shall we? So these are some cool brainstorms. I'm gonna go ahead and push this off to the side. It's taking up valuable real estate now. We have a few brainstorms. We have 4. And so what I'd like to do now is act as if I am a showrunner in a writer's room, okay? And in order to do that, I have to kind of keep things between the ditches. I have to keep things in a forward momentum. So what I'll say is I'm going to put up a poll on YouTube Live, and I'm going to put up a poll on um, Twitch here. And I want everybody to vote on the brainstorm that we want to continue on with. Right now, we're kind of putting a little bit of our creative energy all over the place, but now it's going to be time to focus down, okay? And this is really good. And a lot of this is homegrown, meaning that we came up with it in this room, that you guys contributed to making this to turning these ideas into something more specific and energized, right? So, with that being said, let's go ahead and do some polls. I'm going to do this in the YouTube chat. I'm going to do this in the Twitch chat. And we're going to do a little voting. Let's see. We'll start here. I'll insert a poll. And what do you want to continue to brainstorm? And our first one is oh, and we have to choose. Okay. In a world where everything is the same. I'll not in a I'm sorry, I can only do so much of so many characters. World where everything same. I'm gonna have to write like a caveman to make all of this fit. Author's book changes people. We don't know how yet. Addicted to Dream World. And we never finished the brainstorm about who you would ask a question to. We'll just say time travel for one question. That one question better be really good, right? You can't waste it. So I'll start the poll on YouTube. I'm going to do the same thing on Twitch for anybody on Twitch who wants to vote as well. Let's get that poll started. We have, do you want to? And that is world with everything the same, everything same. And one time travel question. And author read. Oh, addicted to dreams. And quickly, what is it? Author reads his book. Author changes people. Okay, I'll put on a quick little poll there. I'll get out my handy dandy Post-it to start tallying some scores. And it'll be your choice. It'll be your choice. And if you're watching on the vertical live and you want to participate in the vote, please pop on over to the Twitch, pop on over to the YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's always helpful. And then vote about what idea you want to see come to life here. 3, 4. So let's see. Same world. One. Time travel. Question. Dream addict. And author online. Okay. I want to see what people are really interested in here. Ooh, okay, okay. All right. Always happy to get those votes in. Get them in, get them in, get them in. You can vote on Twitch too if you want 2 votes. I'm not encouraging you to cheat the system. I'm just saying it is possible to do it. Gotta stay hydrated. Ooh. Let's see. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so seems like in a world where everything's the same is winning. I don't know, you got like less than a minute left to vote. If that's what you want to do, I appreciate you. This is my music where I sing it myself, and I'm stalling for time while everyone votes. And you realize why I am a writer and not a singer. Okay, so the poll is closing, and it looks like we are coming upon an answer. Twitch, a little bit of a bust. However, We did learn something over on the YouTube chat where everybody wants to do a world where everything is the same. Okay, so let's keep creating some more space on our whiteboard here. We'll toss these other brainstorms off to the side. Perfectly good, perfectly usable. However, you didn't vote for them. So this must be the interesting thing. I'll put this front and center here, the big brainstorm, and also if this is true, then what else is true? Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. Make it easier to read now that we have less on the page. So we're feeling unique in a world where everything is the same. So we have in a world where everyone has an AI assistant chip implanted in their brain, our hero gets theirs deactivated only to find that makes them more powerful than the world's combined intelligence. This actually has a little bit of a pluribus feel, right? We have a big, intelligent, super intelligent hive mind, and we have one rogue woman. We have a couple rogue characters here, but for all intents and purposes, we have a Carol, essentially, who is an independent thinker who is divergent in a world where everybody knows all the same things, and is the only person capable of potentially new thought, right? I think about Pluribus when she says, I'm going to write a new book, and they're like, oh, we've read everything, so this is exciting for us. It's like, oh, they'll never know any more than what they already know now, perhaps? So that's interesting too. Has some The Giver vibes to it as well. Maybe with AI intelligence, everything is diplomatic, democratized, black and white. Everybody has their assigned roles in order to make things functions. Everybody's falling into the place of their algorithm. Hey, Axe 4687, what's up? In. I'm glad you're in. In. Happy to have you here. Either way. Or in a world where anyone who gets fired from their job gets hunted down by anyone and everyone who is employed. The employed get a bonus for hunting you down. Now we have like a metaphor for basically classism, being looked down upon for not having the right job or not being able to earn enough money. You see somebody begging on the street, and you get some well-to-do person in their Mercedes Benz going, "Oh, get a job." Well, I'm sure they would if they could. It'd be a lot easier said than done. Perhaps I don't think anybody wants to be out on the street begging. Axe 4687, you have to go. Thank you, sir, or madam, or whoever you are. Axe, I just appreciate you. I thank you for tuning in. And thanks for liking and subscribing, man. I appreciate it. I say man, but I say it in a general way, like a friend. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. So we have almost like a metaphor for class. I'm seeing like class like starting to reoccur here in a post-apocalyptic world, where the last remaining residents of a city fight for resources in their bunker. One survivor decides to take their chances outside. This is a little interesting. This is man versus man. This is man versus nature. Man versus apocalyptic nature. Also, being the only one who's willing to do it, requires a certain amount of bravery / courage. Could be a man versus himself theme there. In a world where ESP doesn't exist, kind of like potentially this world. I guess I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know if ESP really exists. I could just tell you I don't have it, okay? Our protagonist can read minds. So we could actually just, I mean, for the most part, I'm pretty sure none of us can read minds. Um, there is something called the facial action coding system. Oh, wait, hold on. The chat's lighting up. Polka Dotter says, of course, I'm really liking your streams. Thank you so much. How long have you been doing them out of curiosity? Ooh, I don't know. Months for sure. I don't know if I've gone a whole year, but I must be getting close. Um, close to it, probably close to a year of streaming, perhaps. Not really sure. I have to go and check on when my first stream was. That'll be a fun thing for me to figure out. Um, but back to this world where our protagonist can read minds. We're basically just saying a mind reader, because I don't think any one of us can, um, in in a real world. So now we have to think about, well, is there anything that we can do that where we can combine these ideas to make them super strong? Is there something unique in remixing a few of these ideas that are already kind of pre-existing, right? So, does an AI assistant chip allow people to read minds, or if the AI assistant chip is damaged and this person becomes self-aware again, gets their individuality back, and they realize that the AI chip was suppressing the ability for humans to read minds this entire time. And now they have an advantage. And the conflict could be, does our hero try to free the minds of all people with the AI implanted chip, or keep the secret for themselves to make themselves more powerful, almost like a superhero in their own world? That's interesting. And um, I could see that in a 3 act structure where everything is the same. We introduce the hero in our stasis, right? Everybody's the same. Everybody has the AI chip. There's a catalyst, an incident where the chip gets damaged. It goes offline. Goes through a giant magnet. I don't know. We'll make it up. Um, and uh, and then once the chip goes offline, it's a false defeat. Oh my goodness. Um, I can't connect with everybody. I can't get AI to transcribe my thoughts, so I'm getting behind at work, um, becoming a loser in this society. And then with some time to be alone, some time to have their thoughts to themselves, they realize that the thoughts that I'm having don't appear to be my own. They actually appear to be everyone else's around me. And I can see how other people are using their AI chip to advance their lives. I could see their needs. I could see their wants. I can sense them. I can read them. And I'm going to use this to actually get ahead. But getting ahead will only get you so far before your humanity comes into question. And then maybe in the 3rd act will be the great liberation, the Matrix, the Neo. I'm going to free everybody's minds of this AI prison, AI mind chip prison. Polka Dotters. I think 2 and 4 could be told from the perspective of a person with ESP. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I went 1 and 4, and you're saying 2. I'm sorry, I went 1 and 4. You want to go 2 and 4. So love that, Polka Dotters. That's the case. I want to hear your pitch. In a writer's room, I would expect my writers to stand up and tell me their idea and get me pumped about it. Also, hi, Saul, YC4Ev. How you doing? It's nice to see you out there. Thanks for stumbling on to my live stream. On another channel on Twitch and YouTube, I have this big digital whiteboard up, and I'm kind of hosting a digital writer's room where you can join the chat and pitch ideas, and we can kind of develop ideas together. If you've ever been interested in writing, that's kind of what I do here. If not, cool. If you like to lurk, cool. I just appreciate you being here and stopping. Really cool to have you here. How are things on your side of the world? What are you up to? And Polka Dotter 17. Go ahead and give me like a kind of makeshift idea for combining in a world where anyone who gets fired from their job gets hunted down by anyone, can be hunted down by anyone who is employed, seeing that the employed get a bonus for hunting down the unemployed. So that, and then combine that with in a world where people are just like us. One protagonist, our hero, has the ability to read minds, ESP for short. So that's what we're doing, Saul, in case you're interested. Also, be sure to like and subscribe if this is kind of your thing. Um, we're taking a bunch of one-off ideas and we're kind of taste testing them. We're doing a little remixing. We're combining little flavors. We're cooks in the kitchen. We're gonna see if chocolate and peanut butter go together. Sometimes we'll get a delicious Reese's peanut butter cup, and sometimes we're gonna get shrimp and coffee, and that's okay too. So Polka Dotters 17 over on our YouTube chat says the narrator has always been able to read minds. He knows everything about everyone in his office. They are doing what everyone else is trying to do, avoid being fired, and it puts them at an advantage. What I really like about that, Polka Dotters, is you kind of start in the middle of a story in conflict. I love this. So in this world where we have a protagonist who can read minds, somehow they have decided, or they have led a life that still puts them at the mercy of the powers that be. They've decided to keep it their secret so they could have it as an advantage. But what kind of advantage is it to be almost, sounds like middle management, maybe? There's definitely not upper management. They're not the ones doing the firing. They are the ones at the mercy of being fired. So you have all of this potential and you've kind of used it just to stay under the radar and stay slightly ahead of the game. At what point is there conflict? And I would say that's really interesting, right? So what if we're going to play the what if game? And so now I have like a little what if. What if you could read minds? Never used it to get ahead until your job was on the line. Then, when you did use your ESP, you quickly became the target of suspicion around the office, right? Like there has to be a little conflict there now. So I love what you did. Now we're just mixing in a little conflict. Okay. Polka Dotters is saying something else. It says, they knew it was coming soon because they can read minds. Ooh, that's interesting too. Polka Dotters says, they had been there for years, seen people come and go, but they refuse to hunt. The bonus just isn't enough to see what happens to the fired. Okay. Gotcha. Interesting. What if, because now I'm thinking, I want to, because now I'm going to play the what we call the devil's advocate game, which is what if the opposite were true? What if the person who was fired slash now hunted is the one person who had ESP? Now I'm thinking, it almost feels like a Western, almost like a kind of Clint Eastwood kind of situation where it's like Unforgiven. Like, don't ask me to be violent. I gave up my violent ways years ago. Please stop asking me to hold a gun again and seek vengeance against my enemies. I swore to my dead wife I would never pick up a weapon in violence again. I promise you, I am no longer that man. And come Act 3, worst comes to worst. He has a drink of whiskey, the gun is in his hand, and all hell breaks loose. Polka Dotter says, 17 says, but like you said, when their job was on the line, they had no choice but to use hunting to earn brownie points, to earn that bonus. Interesting. So what I'm looking for, Polka Dotters, is a little bit of like, well, what is the conflict that we're going to write? Because right now, ESP is the advantage. So right now, this person hasn't been fired, has a special ability, and is not using it. So what's interesting? Like, what am I going to get hooked by, right? I just reread what you said. So what you're saying is they have ESP, but in order to keep their job, they need to be a successful hunter of the unemployed. I believe I misconstrued it the first time. I'm sorry. Let me try this one more time here. Person with ESP finally uses their ability to, when their job is on the line, to hunt the unemployed. And this is actually a terrible sentence. It doesn't clearly convey the point. We know what we're talking about because we've just been going through it. If I were to pitch this, I would clean this up a lot. But I think that is the sentiment that we were going for. In which case, it's like a Superman pretending to be Clark Kent, and when he realizes his secret identity is in danger, he has to sneakily use his superpowers, ironically, to keep people off of his back from finding out, right? Polka Dotter 17 says, ooh, conflict, right? Their friend was fired from the office and hunted. That's a great point, Polka Dotters. Because what I said earlier, what are stories about? They are about characters and relationships. And the moment that you introduce their friend from the office, the person with ESP, the dear friend and co-worker of let's just say Dave or something, secretly has ESP, is fired and hunted by their company. And company makes it sound like it could be a company of people. About their firm. This is interesting. Also, what I would do here is I would start to see which one of these are the most interesting, but this feels like a log line. It feels like a log line to a movie, and I'll tell you why. Because you added that relationship into it. You have a protagonist. You have an inciting incident. You have an obstacle, and you have stakes. These are the points of every single this looks gross. Much better. These are the points of every single log line. A protagonist suffers through an inciting incident, causing a conflict that needs to be resolved, or else stakes happen, right? So I could very easily turn this into a log line for a movie, and it would be this movie is The Lobster meets Battle Royale or Hunger Games if you're American. And we'll do a better version of this. We'll say uh a middle manager with see with secretly has ESP. I would write a better version of this over time. We're still going to get out a rough log line, okay? A middle manager that secretly has ESP is forced to use his gift when his best friend and co-worker is fired before his firm can hunt him his fellow employees. Okay, even that's a little sloppy, but yeah, you can't edit a blank page, right? So you could take this and you can make it better over time, consolidating words. But this is an interesting, like, surreal um, movie idea a little bit. It kind of reminds me of what is it? Please, what's the where the guy works at a call center, and it was before Army Hammer got canceled. Sorry to Bother You has a little sorry to bother you feel to it, which I really liked and was very unique, by the way. Really, really interesting movie. Me Alpha with my tiny little dancing dinosaur. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh my God. Polka Dotter 17 says, "What is Lobster?" The Lobster is a Yorgos Lanthimos film starring Colin Farrell, who is a man who joins like a specific, I don't know, commune or retreat. And if he can't find love by a certain deadline, he gets turned into a lobster. Oh, you're over. Oh, okay. Appreciate you being here then. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a it's a highly stylized, very surreal, kind of a dry comedy and also a satirical look at how society looks at us when we are not in a relationship or not pursuing a relationship. It's a big commentary on modern love sometimes. I'd have to I'd have to watch it again to see if it holds up, to be honest with you. But really a unique film, really truly. But Polka Dotter 17. Think about where we started. Think about where we started and kind of where we're ending up. And do you feel good about this? Does it feel like a cool experience? Share this with your friends, take this into the classroom, form your own writers group if you want to. But remember when you first started, you said, I want to write something where you feel where you feel unique in a world where everything is the same. In a series of questions where we introduce conflict, we developed character, we develop story, we develop character by giving our character a defining trait, secret mind reading a secret mind reading ability. And now we ended up with this kind of fantastical, very unique mixed genre story, where a middle manager that secretly has ESP is forced to use his gift when his best friend and coworker is fired before his fellow employees can hunt him down for their bonus. Polka Dotter says, "It is cool. Like I said, I've appreciated these lives so much. It calls me to find, dare I say, dormant creativity." Oh my goodness. Well, I gotta say, that is a huge compliment. For me, I say compliment. I don't think it was a compliment. It just makes me feel good. Um, because I know what it feels like to have my dormant creativity awakened or reawakened. I remember the first time I felt the pursuing art could make me bigger than myself. And I remember also getting so invested in the studying of art and structure and the history of writing and literature and how we got here and theater, um, and made it so cerebral that it became not fun. And then finding the right teacher or the right fellow artist who inspired me to give myself permission to go back to being creative. Uh, it's a journey with peaks and valleys, I must say, and and depending on where you are, uh, this could be a really good exercise for you, just to remind yourself that you can give yourself inspiration. And the way that I do it is I just kind of talk out loud and ask myself questions. And maybe it seems more natural because I'm doing it here on a live stream. But if I were to do this exact same process, I would be doing it this exact same way, just with my phone off, with my stream off, sounding like a crazy person inside my house. But you have to allow yourself to sound a little bit crazy to get creative. That's what separates the artists that do from the artists that don't. Be willing to embarrass yourself in the comfort of your own home, by yourself, even. I think it's really, really important. Okay. So that's kind of fun. So this is interesting, and I really, really enjoy this. I think this is really fun. And if I saw this, this would be the kind of movie I'd go see. This would be the kind of book that I would pick up. This is a kind of story that I would sit down and lean forward in my chair to hear because it sounds quirky. It sounds unique. I've never I've never heard a story of an alternate reality where the unemployed are hunted and the protagonist is a person in middle management that has never used their secret gift of mind reading for anything more than keeping their head above water. And when you're finally called upon to be more than yourself, you have a hero's journey. I don't know. I really like it. I think it's really cool where we landed. Well, I'm glad that you appreciate these live streams. I think this is actually a good place to. Oh, Braden said, Braden Scroggs. Hey, what's up, Braden? How you doing? How are you? How are you doing over there on your side of the world, wherever that side of the world may be? It's getting a little late over here, and I was just coming to the end of a digital writer's room, Braden. So I don't know if you are on Twitch or YouTube, but what you're seeing here is just part of the story. I have a big digital whiteboard on Twitch and YouTube if you ever want to see what it's like to kind of exist in a digital writer's room. We were just kind of like kicking around some ideas, forming story literally out of nothing. Good. Excellent. Good to hear that you are good. I'm great. I'm great. It's kind of hard to tell here, but it's night, and I'm coming to the end of my energy bar. My battery is starting to blink low. But I'm still glad that you're here. Also, same, right? My God, these days, it's just getting harder to be conscious, isn't it? Well, if you ever want to see the beginning of this thing, I log all of my live stuff on YouTube. You can watch it commercial free. You could also go see VODs on Twitch where you can kind of see what my whole deal is. I know that's probably not what you came on YouTube Vertical Live for, but you had football practice today. All right. A footballer. Excellent. Excellent. What position? What are we talking, Braden? What do you do? Curious. Just curious. I'm also going to check the Captain Kraken. Ahoy there, matey. How goes the writing today? I'll tell you, Captain Kraken, it's cracking on. We're having a lot of fun, just kind of kicking around, being in a writer's room. Polka Dotters is back on the laptop. I would agree. It's such a unique storyline. Yeah. Excellent. Let me shrink this down just a little bit more so everybody can see the totality of what we're doing, maybe. Is that too much? I think that's fine, actually. Oh, flag football. Hi, bro. How you doing? It's me again, Pixel Drift. What's up? How you doing? Nothing yet. It was my first practice. Oh, cool. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you're out there being active. I'll tell you what I do is I'm mostly a writer online. We write screenplays, we write novels, short stories, and I don't know if you're ever interested in writing. Come on over, say hello. Also, you don't have to be interested in writing just to hang out with us. I think it's cool just to have some people in the same room, sharing company with one another. But also, how did your first practice go? Hope you didn't get hurt. I know flag football can get intense, even though it's flag football. People stay competitive. Braden Scroggs says, what kind of novels? Right now, I am working on my very first historical fiction novel. I'm on my 6th draft of it. I really feel like I'm approaching the finish line. I want to say about 85% done before it's publishing ready. I just got a new round of notes on it, and sometimes whenever I have a little bit more time to spend online, I'll edit it live and I'll take you through my thought process and why am I losing this sentence and why am I adding a chapter and why am I swapping these 2 chapters, you know. But the novel, I'll tell you, is about a criminal who is sentenced to death and then volunteers to take on the role of the Queen's executioner in order to escape his own death sentence, only to have to face off against the very man who appointed him to the position. And this is based on true events. This really happened in Elizabethan England. So I think it's really fun. It's my I use my creative license to build out the world and try and make it a really fun read. So if you stick around, if you subscribe, you can always track the progress. And whenever it comes out, you can always support. I always appreciate the support, even if it's just moral support. So, let's see. There we go. So what we've done today, just to catch everybody up, is we started off with a big blank slate, right? And from the big blank slate, people were like, oh, Captain Kraken says, always nice to see more people in the writing and reading category now that there finally is one. I agree wholeheartedly, Captain Kraken. I want to be the person who helps grow this. This is one of my favorite categories. I meet all of my favorite kinds of people in here, and and I've done a lot of like writing competitions, and I've traveled. One of my favorite writing festivals, specifically for screenwriting, was the Austin Film Festival. I've never been to a festival that celebrates writers so much. And I loved the experience of one, getting to explore a new town, meet all of these new people, but one, just have like a bunch of like-minded people. And I say like-minded, but different minded, like-minded people, a bunch of creative people from completely different walks of life with completely different skill sets who are all interested in telling stories. And it was just fascinating to hear everybody's approach and everybody's story and what got them excited and what their process was. I just think we need more of that, especially in a world that's so content driven and people are always sharing their stories, their content, creating shows, creating memes. Um, it's kind of just a modern way of communicating. Yeah, I can just tell you about my day, or I can show you, or you can read about it on in an elevated level. Um, I just love it. And I'm glad Captain Kraken agrees. Thanks, Captain Kraken. I appreciate your support. Um, oh, wait. Braden says, what's the book title? Y'all, I have been through this. I'm on like my third title. I still don't know if that's what I'm going to call it. I called it The Executioner as a working title, but it's too generic. It's no fun. How are you going to recognize that on a bookshelf from other things called Executioner or something or other? I tried A Ropesman's Tale, and people were like, I'm not really sure what a ropesman is, and tale sounds really soft. And the story is not actually soft. There's a lot of executions in it, right? So right now it's called By the Neck, but I'm still not sure if that's going to be the full title. Jaden Saint, Hellington, hello. Can you shout out? My name is Mahunu Batuan Batoina? Mahunu Batoina? I hope I'm not slaughtering it, but Mahunu Batoya. Hey, how's it going? Roslyn, hey, hi, how's it going? Braden, you like By the Neck? Okay, well, you know what? Honestly, maybe this should be my my forum to focus group this. I mean, if you guys like it, and that says something. And if you're readers, would you pick up a book called By the Neck? Would you get it? You put a lot of pressure on a title. It's got to be snappy. It's got to promise the premise of what the story is. It's got to stick in your brain. It's got to sound cool. So whenever you tell other people what you're reading, they're like, "Oh, that sounds cool." The title does a lot of heavy lifting and put a lot of pressure on myself to get it right. Captain Kraken OG says, I think it's just something not a lot of writers think about. Now, mind you, the writing community here is pretty sizable already. That's true, but there's always room for more. That I really agree on. It's like one of the smallest categories. We just got to help people realize that streaming their writing sessions can be incredibly helpful. I agree with you. I agree wholeheartedly with you, Captain Kraken OG. And when you have people watching you, it gives you this sense of accountability and drive to be productive, but also you can bounce ideas off others and give each other feedback. That's been one of my favorite things is actually just hearing back live in real time from other people. Benjamin Salami. Yeah. I love the name. Hi, my name is Benjamin Sam Salama Lucum. I hope I didn't butcher that too badly. I apologize if I did. Braden Scroggs. I don't read a lot. Braden, I don't get to read as much as I used to, but I've been finding a new life for my literary fixation in audiobooks. I'm often traveling a lot, and I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and it's been helpful because now I work out loud, I read out loud via Twitch and YouTube, and I find that I don't really lose too much um, in the audiobook experience. I do miss seeing writers' structure, where they decide to begin and end paragraphs, what they decide to italicize, where they decide to use em dashes, when they decide to um, use a single word to make a poetic punctuated point. I do miss that. But overall, I am just a fan of story. So as long as I'm getting it in, I feel pretty good. I don't read books. I've tried so many times. I just can't. Do you think I have ADD? Well, first off, I just would not ask any any guy online for medical advice. I have no idea what you have, and I am not going to try and diagnose or cure anything. However, I would say that there are plenty of people who aren't who don't really like sitting down for long periods and concentrating on reading large chunks of text. Even in my own family, I would say try books of short stories. Can you sit for shorter periods? And also try the audiobook situation um, or a chapter a night. Maybe the smaller amount of attention that you have to give to your books just makes your mind more adept for something episodic, you know? That could be something to consider. Are you going to stream tomorrow? I will be at work basically all day tomorrow. I'm sorry. And also, hi, James Stephen. Uh, James Stephen Billy? Stephen Nimbley? Hi. How's it going? I usually stream every Tuesday, Braden. Just FYI. I've been streaming a little later in the evening. I would say somewhere between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m. Pacific Coast time. I've been able to hop on and stream pretty continuously, like every Tuesday for the past, I don't know, I'm going to say, 6 months, maybe 7 months been doing this, like literally every Tuesday. And if you want, you can go and join my YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can actually go back and watch um, past sessions, whole writers' rooms. Sometimes I've streamed for 5.5 hours. It's been really fun. Hi, Asher. How's it going? How you doing on your side of the world? Shadow Corpse. Badass name. Just wanted to drop by and say you're truly amazing. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Keep doing what you're doing. And have a good day. Here's a free like for me. Thank you so much, Shadow Corpse. I appreciate you. Oh, that means a lot. You didn't have to stop on me, but you did. There's a lot of content out there to choose from, and so for you to stop and say that, it means a lot. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Polka Dotters over on over on YouTube is saying, I like it, but is the Queen's man taken? See, my first instinct with the Queen's man was thinking like, oh, the Queen had a lover. That's the Queen's man. You know what I mean? Not to throw more quandary into the mix. Lol. It's what came to mind before you said the title you were workshopping. Oh, okay. Interesting. So maybe something about like the Queen would signal to the reader that it is historical piece, and something about the word queen lets you know that it's a period piece, for sure, especially in English. So you're like thinking the English queen. Well, it's probably not a modern day queen just because the monarchy is kind of a shell of what it used to be. They're more of like a prop for England than they are actually powerful. Yeah. So maybe factoring the word queen into it could be helpful, actually. Oh, oh, but it doesn't matter because the name is taken. Yeah, I think queen is the helpful word. Captain Kraken, OG, says audiobooks would be a recommendation. It can be listened to while you do other things like chores. I didn't even think about that, but going back to uh oh, thank you so much, Shadow Corpse, for the sub. I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, I won't. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, Brayden. Let me see. Who asked me? Oh, Maddie. Maddie. Uh, Over on Twitch, Captain Kraken brings up a good point. Having something, being able to pay attention to something while you're doing something else. If you find that you focus better, keeping your physical nature active. I say I'm a writer and I couldn't think of a good way to say that. But if you find that you can focus your attention mentally by being physically active, that's what I was trying to say. Maybe, yeah, you're right, Captain Kraken. Maybe audiobooks are a good solution. Me, I'm trying to give less money to Jeff Bezos anywhere I can. So I'm a big fan of audiobooks.com. Or there's one called something FM where you can where your subscription fee can be donated to your local public library. And we have to keep our libraries alive, y'all. You can actually download the Libby app and get audiobooks, like you can check out books at a library via your app. So you can get your library card, you can log into Libby, and you can get access to audiobooks for free. For free. Libraries are such an incredible resource. They're a huge community resource. They're the one place in America that you could probably go without the expectation of having to spend money. There are community centers and there are libraries, and I think they are underutilized by people in general. So just wanted to throw that out there. In case you needed a resource or didn't feel like spending any more money. I know money is tight. I know wages are stagnant. I know inflation is real. And if you're in America, it is wartime. It is not a good scene. But something positive that where you can give back to your community is like show up to your local library, participate in community activities, and use those resources. Use them. Asher says, I'm doing good on my side of the world's Germany. Excellent. Cool. Braid says, if you want, I can sub. Up to you. I always love a sub. I appreciate it if you do, if you decide. But you know, up to you, Braden. I'd love to have you sub. Yeah, okay. So, guys, I am seeing like a speck of red battery on my iPhone. I don't have anything to plug it into. Hope you're living a great life. Thank you. You too. In the files. No, I know I'm an American, but I am not in the files. Like, isn't it kind of crazy what we know what we're talking about, by the way? Ugh. So terrible. So terrible. Well, y'all, my phone's about to die. We have reached the end of our writer's brainstorm. Okay, Braden, then please do. I would always appreciate it if you subbed. But I'm going to start winding things down here. Are you a Wings of Fire fan? I don't. I'm must not be because I've never heard of Wings of Fire. Oh, a graphic novel. A graphic novel. I did not realize that Wings of Fire was a graphic novel, best-selling fantasy book about young dragons fulfilling a prophecy to end a war between dragon tribes in the world of Perea. Cool. Very cool. I'll have to check that out. That was the first time I've heard of it, but thank you for bringing it to my attention. Book series. Wonderful. Yeah, the last thing that I read was... Oh, I don't recommend it. I mean, it has a time and place, but I read Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy, and he's a wonderful author and very talented, writes in a very elevated way, highly descriptive, beautiful words, and but I did kind of suffer through the read. Polka Dotters, it was nice brainstorming with you too. You'll be streaming as Bloopy17 on Twitch later. Oh, well, look, I'm gonna go follow you. Hold on. And if anybody else wants to follow Polka Dotter 17, we have to support other writers. So let me check. You said Bloopy 17? TLBG 14. Hi. Struggle Buggo with the late night pancakes. I will try to remember to tell her. Thank you so much. Where was I? Oh, it was on YouTube. You're gonna be streaming as BLUPY 17. BLUPY 17. Bloopy 17. You're gonna be doing Stardew Valley. Well, consider yourself followed, Polka Dotster 17. Glad to have another friend on Twitch. That's fantastic. Yeah, of course, of course. The Royal Executioner. Interesting. You owe the library money. What is it, 15 cents? They never overcharge you. The library has very manageable penalties. They want you to read, they really do. The Royal Executioner. I'll throw that around too. There's something about royal that throws me back and lets me know it's historical fiction as well. And then let's see. What are you writing? Oh, TLBG 14. If you want to, you could always go and check out some old VODs. But we just did a digital writers room where we had a lovely brainstorming session where we started with nothing and we developed an idea. And here, I'll show you really quickly. I'll do a big zoom out, but we started with a bunch of ideas, threw a bunch of things out there. I'll zoom back in now. Talk through them all. Some were stupid. I say stupid. I don't want to be dismissive. It could have turned out to be something great. A man addicted to beans. An overzealous pet owner tries to host a fancy human dinner for their indifferent cat named Taco. An author reads his book out loud only to find that something happens to his audience. What we ultimately landed on through a series of polling is we wanted to create a story where one felt unique in a world where everything is the same. However, you're a writer, so you also know that's a feeling. You can't write a feeling, right? You have to write conflict. You have to write story. So we started brainstorming what it could be. What could be the unique thing and what could be the same thing in a world where everyone does this. So we brainstormed a bunch of stuff. And then we started mixing them together to try and make something seem surprising yet familiar, familiar yet surprising, much like a good pop song. You'll recognize the structure, but the words and the sounds will be different, right? Intro, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus outro or something like that. I'm not a musician, I don't know, but what we ended up with is this kind of unique sounding story where a middle manager that secretly has ESP is forced to use his gift when his best friend and coworker is fired before his fellow employees can hunt him down for their bonus. And here we have a misplaced modifier that I didn't fix. I'll say his friend, not him as in himself, but he's there to rescue his friend. And he's being forced to use this ability that has really kept him from being singled out in his company. And now he has to become a little bit more than himself. He's always used it to hide, and now he has to use it to help his friends survive. It's his superpower. Adeline Foster, Archer, gotta go. Remember me. All right, well, thank you so much. I will remember you. Have fun in Germany, at home where you are, and have a good day or night. I appreciate you. And Braden, you sadly have to go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I sadly have to go to TLBG14. Are you a writer on Twitch as well? I'm happy to give you a follow so I can watch your stream. We're kind of talking about building our writing community, building up more viewership in the reading and writing category under Twitch. Also, I have a YouTube page with a bunch of cool videos. Polka Dotter, $60. I can't stop laughing at the thought of you reading that. I owe the library $60 at least. You'll be able to work it off. There's no way. There's no way they're gonna come for your house or anything, Polka Dotters. Get back in the library. You know what to do. You do not stream. Okay, no problem. Well, I'm happy that you hopped on mine. You have a YouTube dedicated to speed runs? Let me go follow you right now before I log off. Give me your link. I have some writing sprints of my own. I do like logline sprints, original character creation sprints. I'll do like a screenplay scene sprint as well. Bye, Brayden. Arden. If you're asking me if I'm from Germany, no, I'm not. Archer from earlier in the stream was from Germany, and they're gone now. But we appreciate anybody stopping on the YouTube lives. Glorious B7Z, thank you so much. That's very kind of you to say. It's called The Speedrunnist. Okay, let me go find you on YouTube. Is that the username? If I go to youtube.com/@thespeedrunnist, will you come up? No. Speedrunnist. YouTube really wants me to play Royal Clash. Not wait. Sponsored. Speedrunner. Why am I not seeing this? And I really do want to follow. Can you possibly paste in your URL so I can see it? Maybe I'm misspelling it. Oh, I wasn't putting a space between the and Speedrunnist. I'm subscribed to you now. All right. This will be fun to watch later. Crash Bandicoot. Some PS1 stuff. Nice. Very nice. It's so cool to watch somebody speedrun. Especially when you make it look so easy. I'm always stopping and exploring and trying a bunch of stuff. Well, TLBG 14, thank you for sharing that. And if anybody else wants to follow the Speedrunnist, do it. Cool. I love how a rising tide lifts all ships. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being a part of the community. Um, oh, glorious. It's probably because my battery is running low and I don't know how to fix it, but I do really appreciate you looking out for me. This is sadly the end of the stream. I am so happy that everybody joined. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate you being here, lending me your time, lending me your ears, friends, Romans, countrymen. Speedruns for 5 years, my goodness. That's very impressive, TLBG 14. Just taking a break from speedruns to work on the story. Oh, I'm about to take a break on my story so I can work on my speedruns. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's see. Speaking of like sharing in the community, over on Twitch, one of my favorite things that we can do is raid somebody. And we have somebody who I already follow who is online, and I know that she writes very regularly. She's always fighting the good fight. Guys, let's go raid author Christy. Let's go raid author Christy and say hello. And thank you so much for your time. And I'm gonna be here next Tuesday, and I look forward to hopefully seeing some familiar faces / usernames again. And we'll do another digital writers room. Bring your ideas if you want, or feel free to lurk. Either way, I just really appreciate you being here. So thank you so much. I'm gonna log off over here. Do a flip. Wish I could. Can't. Sorry. But thanks so much for spending your time with me, all. I really appreciate you. And be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and Milo J. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. And I will talk to you next Tuesday. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Bye. Here we go. Drop that follow. Smash the notification bell. Thank you, Captain Kraken. Thank you, Polka Dotter 17. I'll see you all later. Bye. Let's raid author Christy now.